Google is becoming more strict each and every single day when it comes to certain industries. The kind of information related to these industries can have a lasting impact on people's lives, and Google doesn't want to be guilty of people consuming bad information when it comes to sensitive areas in their lives. Hey everyone, I'm Patel, and today I'm going to break down 5 industries that are getting crushed by Google in their SEO. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification. Look, as Google continually grows and dominates the web even more, sometimes it's going to be at the expense of other industries, and you can't blame them and you can't get mad. It's their company. They should be able to do whatever they want. And yeah, of course, privacy and all that kind of stuff, and of course, certain things need to be regulated, but in general, they should be able to control what they want. The same goes with their algorithm updates. You may not like that your traffic goes down. I may not like that my traffic goes down. But hey, my traffic when it goes up, it's great. When it goes down, it's sad. But in general, Google has done a great thing for the world because it's helped us generate a lot of traffic and a lot of sales. So here's 5 industries that are going to be crushed by Google in terms of their SEO. The first is travel agencies. Travel agents are likely to be one of the biggest impacts, negatively impacted by some of their latest updates. A few years ago, Google introduced featured snippet. This made it easier for searchers to find answers they were looking for at a click of a button without having to scroll through a website digging for an answer. Now, although this improved the experience for searchers, it didn't stop there. Google also made it where you can start buying products and services directly from Google search results. Now, you may look at that as a bad thing, but as from someone who's a searcher, that's a great experience. As a marketer, of course, I'd rather have people on my website. In theory, great update, but in reality, businesses will lose traffic and potentially sales from this, especially if you're in an industry that's offering flights, hotels, or anything related to travel. Google itself has virtually become a travel company. Now, of course, they're not offering all the same information that you can find on a booking.com or Expedia. They're not scraping everyone's information and displaying it there without you going to the website in and of itself. But in theory now, you can end up clicking and booking a listing directly on Google. Now, to give you an idea of how big of an impact this is, according to Forbes, Expedia even ousted their CEO due to poor performance. In other words, it's hard for anyone in the travel industry right now. The next industry that Google's really shaking up, a startup business. Look, being a startup in today's online atmosphere can be incredibly difficult and intimidating. Marketers in Google are becoming more and more saturated, making it harder to ever rank for competitive keywords. The ability to compete with businesses with built authority in the online world, it's just getting harder and harder because some of these guys have been around for 5, 10 years and they dominate the listings. Even in terms of pay per click, the cost per keyword is so high, most startups these days are raising money for sales and marketing. The money's not really going towards development. It literally is going towards sales and marketing. Another big factor is Google favors brands, right? Because there's all this fake news that's being published. So one of the things that they're doing to help fix this is really pushing hard on brands. Because if everyone does SEO equivalently, the same, they're all building links, they're all doing on-page SEO, but one brand has 10 times more queries, it shows Google and tells them that, hey, people prefer this brand. But you know what startups lack? They lack brand queries. No one's searching for their brand. They're a startup. They got to build it from scratch. You know how hard that is? SEO is not just going to help you build a brand. Content marketing isn't just going to help you build a brand. You got to go above and beyond. I do really well with the Neil Patel site, not just because all the Google algorithm updates. The Google algorithm updates, some of them have been hurting me, some of them have been helping me, but Uber suggests, that's what's helped me. Because I built a brand, I built a product that's just getting a ton of traffic that's not necessarily reliant on Google. And because I get all those brand queries, it helps the overall site do well. And that's why my traffic's gone up. It's not because of algorithm update here or there. It's because I really focus on building a brand, not just my personal brand, but a product brand. And that's helped me throughout all the algorithm updates as well. And as a startup, they're going to struggle with that. That means you're going to have to guest post more. You're going to do podcasting, more videos, more social media marketing. You can do SEO, speak at conferences. You're going to have to do a bit of everything to do well. The next industry, the health industry. Due to algorithm updates, including the big one in 2018 labeled the Medic update, medical companies and health companies are consistently taking hits, right? Google introduced EAT, which stands for expertise, authority, and trust. This is a new standard set across all content types because they don't want me, Neil Patel, a marketer, talking about medical information on cancer treatments or nutrition information. They want a doctor to speak on medical related stuff. They want a marketer like me to speak on medical related stuff. In other words, they're really picky about who's releasing what content. And this was one of my favorite updates, even though I have medical related companies that we do marketing for and health related companies. The reason being is this is really good for anyone who's searching. People shouldn't be reading out information out there that can hurt them. And Google's really trying to crack down on false information, like people saying don't get vaccines, it's bad for you, right? And hopefully as they clean this up, it'll help everyone live a healthier and better life as well. And another thing that I noticed, because we deal with so many companies, is sites that were labeling themselves as health sites, but yet they were selling products everywhere. A lot of them saw big hits in SEOs because it's like, really, are you a health site providing information or are you an e-commerce site? Now, if you got hit by this update, the way you beat Google is by creating authoritative, credible author personas. What I mean by this is if you're blogging, put in your bio within each blog post. Let them know that you're a doctor, you're certified in nutrition. Link to your social profiles. If you also want to be well known in the space, speak at events. Speak at other conferences that are going to help put you above everyone else in your competition. That way also increases your brand queries. If you're also going to be in one of these spaces that could be impacted by start guest posting on other well-known sites in your space, because again, that'll help beef up your profile as an author. All this will help with your rankings in the long term. Short run, definitely not. Long run, definitely will. Another industry that got hit really hard is finance and legal industries. See, there's something called YMYL, and content that's about your money, your life, that's what YMYL stands for, has been hit a lot. When you're talking about your money, if I started giving advice to people who are retiring about savings and stuff like that, like what do I know? I'm not a financial advisor. Or things that could impact your life and your well-being, what do I know? I'm not an expert on those type of subjects. Google is just creating their algorithm, not just about ranking the best content, it's about making sure that the content they are ranking aren't impacting people in negative ways and hurting their lives. So if you're targeted about YMYL, you need to make sure the stuff that you're releasing, is it really good for people? Am I helping them? Is it better for them to read my information or is it better for them not to read my information? Is the authors that are creating this content really helpful and know what they're talking about versus just phony people that have no expertise? And last but not least, tech gadget companies. Look, big hardware companies out there like Apple, Samsung, they're popular for a reason. People love their products, they're amazing, but their products are really expensive, especially in the international markets. Currently, the lowest iPhone costs roughly $699. That's a lot of money when you're in places like Brazil or India. Google themselves is dominating the tech industry because their products are really affordable. They're trying to offer high quality products at affordable prices. They may not be as good as an iPhone, but they're still high enough at a very low price. And you're probably wondering, wait, how is this going to affect all the other tech companies and stuff like that? Well, few things. One, if you search for things like cell phone or cell phone for sale, Google Pixel comes up first. So that's going to help them get the sale over the iPhone or any other device. Plus, they're collecting so much data and they're trying to create this ecosystem with their own gadgets that they want you to use Google Home, their Google devices like their phone, their Chromebook, and all this kind of stuff and stay within their ecosystem, which is going to make it harder for some of the other bigger competitors to compete with them. If you need help with your marketing, check out my ad agency, Neil Patel Digital. If you have questions, leave a comment below and I'll answer it. If you enjoyed the video, like it, share it, tell other people about it. Thank you for watching.